Welcome
Hey,
back. Yeah.
what did you do? Anything special? Did you relax? What?
I had an amazing time this summer. Um, a lot of special things. This was an unprecedented summer for me, but above all else, I was happy to play just as hard as I worked previous to summertime. I can say that much. How about yourself, Paula?
Well, mine wasn't as fun. I didn't get to play as hard as I like to play, but it was good. I spent a month in California, so that was good, hanging
Good.
out with the fam. And we'll probably go back and hang out some more. So that was the special treat. So I'm excited to do some
Hey.
more of that.
Awesome. And happy to have you all back. Hope you enjoyed your season and your summer, if you're on the East Coast at least. Welcome back to Disruptor Media, where we connect the dots between mindset, knowledge, and wealth through the lens of today's news. We are so excited because we have three very special guests of Disruptor Dow joining us today. Yay! It is so important to us that you're able to see the amazing creators, team, coaches, consultants, our constituents that are a part of this team.
Yeah,
That
I'm a little nervous because we haven't met. I'm a little nervous.
I
Been a
mean,
little nervous. But okay, go ahead, go ahead.
a little nervous, but at the same time, we're really excited to introduce the team to you all because we're doing. I mean, we're doing so much work and it's amazing work. And today we have our Wellness Wednesday team joining us today. So we're
Yay! I'll make the noise. Yay!
there's some
Woo!
cheering sounds going on.
Yay!
Yes, we're so happy to have the Wellness Wednesday team. And what is Wednesday Wellness? We're going to get into all of that. We want to make sure that you are aware of the work that we're doing, the programs that we all have to offer you. And so we're going to bring up our Wellness Wednesday team to introduce each one of themselves and then talk a little bit more about why we're here, which is to discuss Wednesday wellness. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Eve, Dr. Mali, and Zawadi.
Great to be here.
Yay!
Yes.
Excited to be here.
Yes, birthday to be here. Excited to be here as well. I think what we'll do first is to actually spend a little bit of time introducing each and one of you. If you could briefly tell us your name and a brief background about yourself. We can start with you, Dr. Eve.
Oh, so hi, folks. So yes, I go by Dr. Eve. I've spent a good 30 years of my career developing school-based mental health promotion programs, and with the wonderful support of the Turn 2 Foundation, an incredible foundation, we were able to serve so many parents, students, staff. And so that was a very exciting time, being able to develop a holistic approach to well-being for entire school communities in Upper Manhattan, and then from there shifted quite a bit, unexpected. I always say my journey into wellness wasn't something I chose. It was something that chose me. From childhood, there was always a lot of trials and tribulations. And it gave me that resilience to be able to imagine what it would be like to develop this wellness program in inner city schools based on what I wasn't offered growing up. And from there, unfortunately, unexpectedly, life threw me what I call a curveball, and a medical condition forced me to retire pretty prematurely, and that was a rough time. But then it one door closed and another opened, because I started discovering how mental wellness and financial wellness it work hand in hand. Because in forced retirement, right, I had to really look at my finances, and I'm like, what the heck is this? What have I not been doing? And what were all my lessons that I didn't learn? And what did I learn from what was passed down from one generation to the next? And I realized all of that got jumbled up. And now we have an opportunity to share our experiences with folks who are going through similar situations and more. And so I'm going to pass the torch on, because we're going to be speaking a little bit more about how this now translates into how Wellness Wednesday was developed and what we offer.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Eve. And welcome, Dr. Marie. Would love to hear a little bit about you.
Yes, wow. Thank you for your story and being vulnerable. I am a clinical social worker, over 30 years of experience working with various population, HIV/AIDS, the homeless, um, elderly, and the last 30 years, really, actually, I've been working with students in higher education in 30 years, but prior to that, did a lot of work with HIV/AIDS. I'm currently in higher education, and also really passionate about international education. So I've had the opportunity to work with students overseas, Senegal in particularly, and really bringing a wealth of information and crossing boundaries and borders. So my work with students in particular, financial finances is a major stressor. And with Wellness Wednesdays, we get to really have that discussion, bringing that information and bridging that with not just students, but with anyone who may have a concern around finances and mental health. And so, really happy to be working with Wellness Wednesdays. This is our fourth season. It blows my mind that we've been doing this for a while and bringing a wealth of information to various communities. And we even have had students, not just students, but individuals from the continent of Africa participate in our Wellness Wednesdays. And so it's international and a national conversation that we're having. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
We
great hearing you all. I'm Zawadi. As Cheney was getting ready to call my name, I jumped right in. So let me start with this. The goal was to be a civil engineer. And after high school, I ditched that. It was like, okay, we're not doing that. I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology for buying and merchandising. And then I moved on to Howard University because I had to have that 4 year degree. And where FIT becomes important is after I graduated Howard, I did personnel, I did a number of things. And lo and behold, I found myself going back to FIT because my passion was clothing. So for somebody who didn't call herself an artist, I got with the program rather quickly. I was working for the government, I had a job separation, and I said, look, how can we work this out that I don't come back? We worked it out, and I had been building a business, and I jumped into it with both feet. I was selling clothing from Southeast Asia and Africa, things that were all hand done, hand dyed, hand beaded, you name it. And from there, I started designing fabric, and it just took off from there. I gave the business a break for a hot minute and went into aviation, traveled around the world, and here I am now with Disruptor Dow, enjoying the journey of the idea of creating a life, doing something different, loving the aspect of how you make money, how you get into the world, and build your life around what could I call it? Comfortability, knowing that you have a nest egg. And then with that, Wellness Wednesday came about.
eh,
Hmm.
which we're going to hear some even more about, but I want to take a second to thank you, ladies. Yes, for being vulnerable, for being open, transparent, and sharing. I think what's really amazing is that while we all work together, I'm still learning so much about each one of us and like what, especially our backgrounds and where we've been, and experiences that we've gone through. That's absolutely amazing. So thanks for sharing, y'all. So, as Dr. Marie has mentioned, we're already entering our fourth season of Wellness Wednesday. By the way, Wellness Wednesday programming, you can find all three seasons on our YouTube channel. If you just go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget that so that you know when
Like,
we
don't
drop
forget like.
our next episode. Okay, but you can go back and actually watch the previous seasons. But we definitely want to have this conversation about Wellness Wednesday and who's it for. And if you don't mind, Dr. Marie, why don't we hear a little bit about your perspective on Wellness Wednesday? Why did we put this together, and who is this program for exactly?
Sure, it's for everyone. It truly is, even for the 10-year-old and the 99-year-old, because financial literacy is such an important piece of education in today's world, right? And Wellness Wednesdays is one of the pillars of Disruptor Down, where we bridge mental wellness, well being, and financial literacy. As I mentioned earlier, I as a clinical social worker now working with undergrad students, but even in my own therapeutic practice, one of the major stressors has been finances, and that brings along a level of anxiety that many people may experience. It brings depression. It brings shame and even the physical well-being may be impacted because people are stressed out around their finances.
Mm.
And so one of the things that we do in Wellness Wednesday is to bring in tools, information, and strategies, learning about financial literacy, but also how do we take care of ourselves as we are engaging and learning this information, right? Something simple as looking at your numbers can be scary for some folks. And Wellness Wednesday offers a really safe space to have this discussion, right? What I've appreciated over the last four seasons is how some of the discussions that we've had has dealt with healing intergenerational trauma, family stories that sometimes have nothing to do with you, right? And we incorporate that discussion around money, and some of our presenters have unpacked some of these narratives so that people can say, "Oh, I can do something different. Oh, I can be that ancestor. I can be that person to sow generational wealth." So our impetus, our motivation is for our audience, our guests to be held, to be nurtured, and to plant the seed that they can engage in building wealth for themselves and for their future generation through literacy. And the literacy is key because there, once you understand, once you have the lingo, you're able to diminish any of those fears. It's like, oh, okay, I understand that. Cryptocurrency, blockchain, oh, okay, that's what that means. I can do that. A budget, um, that's how you do that. I can do that. And it's done in community. That's one of the things that I love about this. It's done in community. And there is support to really engage in that conversation again in a safe space. And Wellness Wednesday, I often tell people it's a snack, and we all love snacks. I know I do. I like snacking because sometimes Wellness Wednesday is 30 minutes, and sometimes it's even longer than that. But it's a short amount of time for you to get some information, get some nourishment, and build on that. Then you come back next week and get some more snacks, right? Which is why I like to tell people what make sure that you're on time because it is a snack and you want to be there to enjoy every minute of the conversation that's happening with some amazing, fabulous speakers. And just looking at some of the speakers right here, right now, Dr. Eve, Zawadi, and Shayna, and Paula have been presenters. Yeah, Paula, you've been a presenter.
And you too, Dr. Marie.
Yes, and me too, and me too. And this is coming from someone who's really shy.
Right.
And but because this is important to me to get the word out to community, building mental health and really wellness. What is wellness within the framework of financial literacy? It's taking a breath, it's taking time, it's community, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gaining those tools to help us move from one space to another. It's building financial wealth, it's building generational wealth, and it's healing financial trauma. That is Wellness Wednesday. So, really, it's for everyone. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for Dr. Marie, if I'm not mistaken, you have been one of the first presenters of speaking of
I think so.
right for the first episode of Wellness Wednesday, and I just wanted to add that what I really appreciate about the program, which is so successful, y'all, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is really having this conversation and utilizing these words that I have not utilized in my own household for most of my life, like wealth, and also considering wealth being our birthright.
Hmm.
And being around this community who speaks about that so freely and with conviction is one of the reasons that I've joined the Dow and stayed here and now a part of this, helping to run this program as well. So just wanted to give that context and give y'all a shout out for coming up with this program and being so consistent with it. And Zawadi, our fabulous host of Wellness Wednesdays, well, you're the most consistent host, Zawadi. Okay,
Thank you.
all hosted or have participated in Wellness Wednesday at to some degree. But Z, how do you feel about this program now going into the fourth season?
Um, I'm so excited to be going into the fourth season. We have been building season after season, as you said. Our kickoff was "Wealth is Our Birthright," and everybody loved that session with Dr. Marie. And we have just been able to garner guests who have talked about everything that we're doing in the community, everything that we're doing in terms of, we talk about disrupting the wealth gap. So our guests have talked about disrupting the wealth gap, whether it's taxes or AI, actually not AI as much in the beginning, but blockchain. What is it? What is cryptocurrency? For instance, last season, we talked a lot about engineering miracles, which you wouldn't think had anything to do with finance, but it's really about shifting your mind. We've talked about shifting your mindset. Dr. Eve talks about the three R's: regulate, reframe, and right now I can't remember the third one.
Reflect.
Thank you, reflect.
Reflect, reframe, and regulate.
Thank you so much. It's really about, as Dr. Marie said, financial literacy. But we really go further than that. We go into literacy, period, because the things we talk about, sometimes we talk about the body and what the body is doing. That is all under the banner of literacy. So I say go back to YouTube, watch our earlier segments, and you will get quite a bit.
Agreed. Thank you so much for that, Z.
Well,
And
just let me just add on to that because some of the segments in the past, the highest segments that I was looking at just before it came on, was in the crypto space, most views. I would encourage anyone who wants to learn to go out and watch some of those older episodes, especially around our cryptocurrency episodes. And again, I love what is it, uh, birthright.
wealth is our birthright.
Yeah, I love that coin face. So thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
I just want to add two others. We had Raising Money Smart Kids. We
Yes.
talked about breath work with one of our guests that was coming in from Jamaica. Oh, that's the other thing. We have guests from different parts of the world.
Hmm.
There is no barrier because we are on social media. There's no barrier to access. And we welcome, if you're listening to this and you think that you have something that we can avail ourselves and our community of, please reach out and contact us.
Yes.
Hmm.
So much for that, ladies. Which brings us to Our next question for you all, since we're talking so much about season 4, would love to know what we can expect going into season 4. Don't forget, y'all can go back and watch the last 3 season, which is definitely binge worthy and it's value content. But we definitely can't wait for season 4 to launch. We're super excited about that. Dr. Eve, can you let us know a little bit more about what we can expect in season 4?
Oh, absolutely. But first, let me say we put a lot of heart into it because the acronym for HEART is Holistic Empowerment for Authentic Real Life Transformation. So, no matter where you are in your life, if you've had hiccups, we want to try to support you in that. And that's why using a holistic lens is like, what does it entail? It's your physical, mental, spiritual, financial well-being. And we try to do that by dropping gems with remarkable guest speakers. So what can you expect this season? Let me give you a taste. This coming Wednesday, we're going to have a powerhouse speaker and author, Hazel Ortega, who is the author of From Bounce Checks to Private Jets, and her story will inspire you because she has really demonstrated how it is possible to rise above adversity and dream bigger than ever before and prosper. And she's going to share with us how to make miracles happen. And that's going to be followed by lovely Miss Mia James. And she will show us how she has automated her business with AI and elevated self-care. And she will be sharing some tricks of the trades there with us. So for all of you entrepreneurs and for all of you who are dreaming to create your businesses, we're going to start discovering together how utilizing AI can work for us. I know there's a lot of fear around AI, but sometimes fear hijacks our dreams, our emotions. That's why we speak a lot about how important it is to reflect on how we're thinking. Or we're coming from that negative chatter, that negative lens, or internalized messages that were very not supportive of our cause today. We need to reflect on how we're thinking and how we're approaching opportunities, reframe things so that we are empowered to take motion, and then self-regulate those anxieties that we have and that resistance and that ambivalence, and that is opportunities for someone else. No, not no more. It's for us. And I'm going to go back. You're going to hear Hazel Ortega, Miss Ortega, talk a lot about that. And through the different ladies and gentlemen that are going to be presenting, Mia James, and our next speaker after that, Miss Jessica M., who's an inspiring artist who also went through her challenges growing up. And she is a rising artist in her community. And she's going to be talking about how to glow up with ChatGPT, a holistic way of using some of this new innovative technology to be able to support everything from fitness, nutrition, medication management, how to set up our own blog and do it in a way where they can excel. We're also going to dig a little deeper into finances in a more traditional sense. We're going to be talking a little bit about what kind of strategies to employ. And that's important. It's important to open up our horizons. When I mentioned my story about how I ended up having to retire early, I want to bring it back to this point. When I retired, I said to myself, okay, well, at least I have a 401k. I've been in a hospital for 30 years, and then come to find that I didn't have nearly what I expected. And that's because I didn't know what I didn't know. So I didn't know to review what my portfolio was investing in, how it was growing, what fees I was paying. There's so many things that I didn't know. I handed that over to someone else. I gave the authority of my finances to a perfect stranger or a company. And now I started realizing, wait a minute, I need to understand what a portfolio is. Didn't matter that I had a PhD. I certainly didn't have it in finance. And I definitely was not, my family was dependent on the system, right? There was no conversations about you need to take your money and invest. It was about how to save every penny. And I didn't realize I kept operating that way. I kept operating with the notion of I need to put away, but never I need to invest.
Yeah.
But like I said before, one door closes, another one opens. So I started through a wonderful partner program of ours, our sister program, Journey to Wealth. It opened up those horizons, and we started learning, okay, what's the difference between budgeting and tracking your spending. What is net worth? What does that even mean? How do I track what I'm worth? How do you invest? What's a Roth? How to read your portfolio? What is crypto? That's for someone else, definitely not me. We had to break those. We have to break those money stories, understand our relationship to money. And if we want to flourish, not just for our generation, but generations to come, it's possible. And I'm talking about across all ages. And then, and lastly, and most importantly, we're also going to talk about how to be a little bit more cyber safe, right? And so we want, if we're going to earn, we need to protect those monies. But also, it's not just about protecting our financial investments; it's protecting our personal data. How do we do that? So we'll also be delving into that and so much more. So I look forward to having you folks come and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So you'll be reminded every Wednesday, because life is very busy. Life takes over.
Well, what was that? When did season start again, Dr. Eve?
If our first episode will be first season 4 would be September 17th, this coming Wednesday at 7:30.
Wait a minute, ladies, I want to give some big props and kudos to Dr. Eve, who, this really initiated Wellness Wednesday. This was an idea that she birthed, and so it's been a beautiful idea. And as a co-founder of the Down, so thank you for bringing this platform to our community because it's so much needed.
Thank you.
Oh man, I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of this amazing group of women and team. I'm always impressed when I'm in the room with any one of you. I really appreciate this conversation because, to be fully transparent, again, in specifically in the Black and Brown communities, there is a lot of fear around finances, and we're a community that's constantly trading our time, most of our life, for money, and then still finding ourselves trying to survive and not thriving. And so, one, I love the acronym that you gave us for HEART, Dr. Eve. So look
Mhm.
forward to putting that on a shirt. And then also, too, one of my favorite acronyms for fear is false evidence appearing real. And I've heard different
Hmm.
versions of that. And because I find so much fear in around the conversations around finances, this particular community has helped me to become more comfortable in not just having a conversation, but actually becoming more financially literate, right? Having financial literacy so that I can make really good decisions for myself. And what happens is when we eradicate fear through education, is that we become more comfortable, because that's really all fear is, right? Once we are educated and we understand something, then we know how to make really good decisions. And Wellness Wednesday has really helped me and a lot of other people in our community to do that. So again, this program is super successful. We're bringing back our fourth season, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can find a new episode every single Wednesday after that. So you get to join us live, and then you also get to go back and watch the previous seasons on our Disruptor Dow channel on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. And you got to hit the notification bell so that you can get your reminder, so that you know when we're on and you can join us at the same time, add some comments. And also, yeah, you could be a part of the conversation with us and our amazing guest speakers.
Yeah,
Anything
especially
else?
right now, especially with the way the climate is and the way the workforce is going. This is on time,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
will help the ladies, women, and anybody out there who is finding out on what their jobs or what their next steps in life will be. This is a place to come and get your fuel to do what you need to do on the next level.
Yes.
And it's a safe space.
Super safe space.
Absolutely.
And you know what? And one of the main reasons why we did 30 minutes is our guest speakers, they tend to speak very, in this era, everything is so squeezed into a few minutes. But we really try to, value folks' time. Everyone is in a hurry. There's so much to do. You're coming home from work. You also have family you have to take care of, and still take care of more work after you're home from work. So it's just a 30-minute opportunity to be able to hear and drop some, we'll be dropping seeds so that you can plant those and grow and at your pace. It's, so we hope that you all take advantage of that. When we, especially for those of you that are career based, that are working, we think, we have this term that we call in the Latino culture, it's called Marianismo. I was just speaking actually to Ms. Ortega about that the other day. We were just sharing how this concept that, we are here as women to give and to do, and there's a lot of merit behind the giving and the sacrificing, and it's what ends up happening at times is that then there's this guilt that we want to now invest in us, and we have to break those old ways of thinking and realize in Marianismo, there's also pride and role modeling to our young our young daughters and nieces, right, and goddaughters, of the importance of also we need to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. That's why on the plane, I know somebody said you're in the aviation. What do they always say? You got to put that mask on. You got to take care of yourself. That's your temple, your mindset, your finances, so that you can do this and then enjoy those 30 years that you put into any business or working, so that you can retire and
Enjoy yourself.
yourself. You're allowed to do that.
That's right.
And sometimes it's hard for us to do that and we miss the boat. So we don't want anyone here to miss the boat.
We don't want anyone here to miss the boat. Um, I just want to add one more thing for our audience too, is that we use terms here because we are very much wanting to pioneer and be in the front of this evolving landscape, whether it's around the future of work or just the future of money. And so today you might have heard us use words like crypto or AI, and these are words that we may shy away from when you're listening to mainstream media. But the purpose of Disruptor Media is to bring these conversations to the surface and eradicate the fear so that we are making conscious decisions about how we're going to participate in this world, because it's changing whether we want it to or not. And so what happens is we tend to be mass adopters and not early adopters. And we're very mindful about being early adopters, understanding these emerging technologies and innovations early and how we can leverage it to our benefit instead of being at the bottom or in the back with the disadvantages, which has happened in the past. So
No,
so,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I was gonna say there's a saying about that, Shayna.
Go ahead,
It's
Paula.
you're gonna be on the table, or you're gonna be either you're gonna be at the table or you're gonna be on the table. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, we ain't trying to be on the
So
table.
we want to be at the table. I don't think we want to be
At
on the
the
table.
table. No,
Yeah.
no more of that. Okay, we've we've come from a long lineage of that, and we definitely want to be at the table, making the decisions or being a part of the decision. So, just wanted to emphasize again that we are cultivating a safe space to educate so that we can learn more about these things, eradicate the fear so that we're able to leverage the tools at hand, understanding fully what they mean and what they are and how they can benefit us. So we hope to see you back here on Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, who returns with season 4, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Hazel Ortega. I can't wait to hear this conversation from bounce checks to private jets, because I'm definitely trying to find out how to get on a private jet. Um, and how
Me
she
too. Me too.
Me too. Me too.
I've already designed it out. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Get the fuel. Let's
100%.
roll. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
bring the family to this program. Again, this is for all ages because we're all living in this time space reality. So this is for everyone, including our kids who are going to know this thing better than us, probably. Honestly,
Yes.
because they're just going to emerge, right. They're being born into this, right.
So we want
Um,
to thank our guests, though.
yeah. So
Make
thank
sure
you. Yes.
our guests. Oh,
Thank
I
you.
was a little nervous about it, but I'm good now. I'm good now. A
I
little
just want to
nervous.
say one thing.
Yes, of course.
On this coming Wednesday, when Hazel speaks, make sure that your girls are there, because she really gets into the mindset piece and talking about trying to be getting onto a private jet. It's created. You create it out of your thinking.
That's right.
Because if your thinking is going the wrong way, then your life is going to be going the wrong way.
Right. Oh,
Mhm,
100%.
mhm.
You're right on the money with our pillars: mindset, knowledge, and wealth.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing y'all next week. Thank you,
Awesome.
everybody.
We
Thank
look forward to being
you.
here. Thank you.
Amazing
For having
discussion.
us.
Thank you.
And a great job, ladies. Thank you for being the voice and the microphone and the speaker for so many. Thank you for taking your time to do this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
For the love, for the culture.